Hey, Faithful, welcome back to another episode of Voice of a Niner Faithful. I'm Jason, your host. Today, we're going to discuss the hiring of Raheem Morris as the defensive coordinator. But before we get into it, really quick, if you love talking real 49ers talk without the sugarcoating or anything like that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And when you're done with this episode, go check out the 49ers Trivia Thursday shorts that I make. They're really cool, kind of deep cut, quick hits, really good fan stuff. All right, so let's just get into it. We all remember terrible moments of our defense the past 3 years ish, where our defense they kind of pretty much blew it. They unraveled, whatever analogy you want to call it. So the whole big drive, the big moment, all of a sudden the receiver's running free and the quarterback, he's so comfortable back there he could sit in a lazy boy. And we're all just staring at the TV. It's like, what the hell happened to, the vaulted 49ers defense? We've all been there. Blown coverages, no pressure, just that sinking feeling in your gut. Now, imagine a defense that can adjust, one that attacks, one that doesn't sit back and just hope everything works out. Now, today, we're going to discuss why Raheem Morris isn't just a good fit for the 49ers defense. He might be the only fit to fix it and bring it back to championship level. Now, let's be honest. Last year, this past season that technically is still going on because the Super Bowl isn't over yet, Robert Saleh, he did a great thing with the defense. He brought them back even with all of the injuries, but he's gone now. He was here, one and done. It would have been great if we would have kept him a lot longer, but we didn't. And while the injuries were there, other things were still happening. And he helped with that. But let's be honest for a second. The defense itself, we all know the talent. First rounders, Pro Bowlers, guys offenses should be scared to crap out of. And how many times have we watched a 3rd and long turn into a first down? How many late game drives felt way harder than they needed to be? That's not effort. That's not the players quitting. That's a deeper problem. Of course, the issue hasn't been talent, but I think it's been more predictability. Too often, the quarterbacks, they know where the pressure's coming from, or lack of pressure this past year, a lot due to the injuries, yes. Receivers, they know the soft spots in the zones that the 49ers are using. And when things start slipping, the answers aren't coming fast enough to correct any of that. And in today's game, it's just not, if you can't adjust in game, you're pretty much screwed. And that's where the 49ers have fallen short, especially the previous 2 years before Saleh came back. And even with Saleh in his second run, it was only a year that he was here. He did some improving, but it still needs work. And we all know that wasn't always the case with the 49ers. Used to be a defense that was violent. It was confusing. It was fast. Quarterbacks, they hesitated. Offensive lines panicked. It was crazy, the mistakes that they forced on any of the offenses they played against. Obviously, recently, that not a lot of that. Too much reacting and not enough dictating. But this is where Raheem Morris, this is where he comes in. He's not a flashy hire. He's not a nostalgia pick. I can already hear that part. Oh, he's a nostalgia pick because he's all buddy with Kyle Shanahan. I don't think that that's the case here, or at least the case that's why he was hired. He was hired because as a defensive coordinator, not a head coach. I think we've all seen what he can do as a head coach. Not the greatest. But as a defensive coordinator, though, he's a problem solver. He brings the flexibility. He brings the disguise. He brings the pressure from places quarterbacks aren't expecting. And more importantly, he adjusts when the first plan isn't working. He has more than one plan. Yeah, last year was a tough one because of all the injuries, we really didn't have a chance to try other plans because all the new rookies and all that. But that's going to be the difference. That's going to be huge. When Morris doesn't lock himself into the one look, he mixes the fronts, he changes the pressure packages, he lets the defensive backs play fast instead of just thinking. And sounds funny, but it matters. Because when defenders are thinking, they're late. And when they're late, the offense kills you. Morris builds defenses that attack the weaknesses, not just protects the scheme. Here's the uncomfortable part, though. There are other coordinators who'd be fine. They'd be competent. They'd be safe. We all know who I'm talking about. But safe, I don't think, is going to beat Mahomes. It's not going to beat Josh Allen, any of the other quarterbacks out there. Safe doesn't survive in January. Safe doesn't win Super Bowls. And we've all seen that. The window for the 49ers is now. This team needs elite problem solving, not comfort on defense. Now look at the roster and tell me Morris wouldn't unlock this. Pass rushers moving around instead of stuck. Moving Nick Bosa around. Moving Mykel Williams around. Moving anybody else that they happen to pick up around. I think he's going to do that too. I think he's going to help bring other people into the organization that'll help the defense, obviously. He's letting the linebackers attack downhill, which we used to do. Defensive backs are playing more aggressive instead of just being scared of making mistakes. And that's definitely going to show this next year because how much those rookies learned this year. Now, Morris is going to put these players in that position to win, not just hold. And that's going to matter most in the playoffs. And we will make the playoffs next year. I have no doubt about that. He doesn't wait for the offenses to screw up because he's going to force that issue on them. He's going to make them mess up. He's going to dictate tempo. He's going to pressure quarterbacks into those bad decisions. That's playoff football. Now, is Raheem Morris perfect? No. There isn't a perfect coach out there. You might think so, but no. Even the best have made mistakes. But he checks all the boxes that actually matter: adaptability, the leadership, the aggression, the accountability. In this moment, for this roster, for the people on defense, for this window, for the whole team, he's the fit that actually makes sense. Sure, there's going to be people that are going to say, look at his past results, look at the numbers, but the context matters. Yeah, he wasn't a great head coach. He was, and still is, a great defensive coordinator. Situations matter, the growth matters. Judging Morris without context misses the point entirely. So something to consider for those of you who don't like this pick. So this isn't about names, it's about identity. Do the 49ers want a defense that hopes to survive? Or one that it will imposes its will like it used to? Because if championships are still the goal, then Raheem Morris isn't the luxury, he's a necessity. Now, if you agree, or even if you think I'm just dead wrong, drop it in the comments. Let me know. Want to hear from you. And make sure you subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to check out 49ers Trivia Thursdays for some awesome deep dives into 49ers history. So, until next time, you guys all have a great weekend, week of work, whatever you got to do. Go Niners.